In the amphitheater of online discourse, the saga between Fresh and Fit and the comedic duo Abba and Preach unfolds as a tragicomedy, replete with Machiavellian machinations and rhetorical swordplay.
Question to you is, why did you guys back out originally?
We don't really use Twitter like that, bro.
Number one, we never put that out on Twitter.
Yeah, we did.
Yo, so here's the thing, dude, because I did a whole video exposing this shit. You know Preach lied, right? And that wasn't his wife? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that. I know the whole reason. My logic was, because at the end of the day, whether the reasoning of what he wanted to fight, it didn't really matter. It
absolutely does matter. It absolutely does matter, because he used that to galvanize the audience to try to demonize us and say, yo, you talked about my wife, you talked about my country, sensationalized it to make it look a certain way when it wasn't. It was all cap.
Correct.
So how do we know? How do we know if he was actually serious about?
And just so you know, bro, we found out he was never going to show up. So your whole argument's out the window, bro.
Because we talked to him on the side and said, cool, if y'all want to do it.
That was my only. Oh, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
I said, because we talked to the side and said we could do it. But here's the thing. I love how y'all let Abba sidestep responsibility all the time, bro. Like, it's amazing to me how you guys literally just let this sodomite just always sidestep accountability. He was the one that showed up here. He was the one that did the bull. I told him I'm going to come up. He needs to put the boxing gloves on. Oh, no, fight Preach, bro. No, man, I don't give it about Preach. I don't even know him. We've never met him in our life. And on top of that, now that I know that he's lying about his wife, he don't give a fuck. Bro, my problem is with Abba. I've been told him, put the gloves on and let's fight, but he doesn't want to because he's a pussy. I have an issue with him. I don't give a about Preach. I don't even know that nigga.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Listen, I'm not an Abba and Preach fan on that level, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like Abba just antagonizes and instigates. He's not really about it. That's what I don't like about him. He just antagonizes.
That's all he does.
And instigates. So I know where you're coming from. My point of view is, because when I went back then in time, like this was 2-3 years ago, so I could be wrong, but I do remember seeing a Twitter post where it's like, hey, we want to formally apologize and talk about this. Fresh from Fitness and condone this kind of behavior, blah, blah, blah. I remember seeing something like that. It could be misrecollection on my end.
We don't use Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. Look. That's now. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The point is that, like, yo, we're like, yo, because we didn't know at the time that it wasn't his wife. We actually like believed it. No one did. But that's what I'm trying to say. They're willing to lie and mislead their audience to try to go ahead and paint a narrative. So it's like, bro, these dudes aren't even honest. They preach integrity, whatever. But my thing is, we were talking to them on the side. I was like, yo, if y'all really want to do it, it is what it is. And we even said that in our after hours when we were talking about it. But yo, they just wanted to get clicks and views. But my thing is, I don't give it about Preach because I don't know him. So it's like,
yeah, because my whole logic looking into it was just like, okay, they said they were about it. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. No one knows what happens behind the scenes, right? It's between you guys. But at the end of the day, it's like you were very passionate about it. Preach said, okay, let's do it. I don't know what happened after that, but then the fight didn't happen. And then now fast forward 2-3 years later, now you're really amped up and now you really want to fight them. So my logic was, what changed from 3 years ago to now?
They keep making videos.
That was my thing.
They keep making videos. What do you mean? They've made 30 videos on us.
They've been making videos about you guys before then, like the first time you wanted to
and they keep going.
And then you made the call.
We ignored them for 2 years. They keep going. They've made like 30 videos on us now. That's why. I would have been dead in this 2 years ago. But they keep making videos. Okay. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is they made that video talking shit after we got demonetized? No. Now he's got to get punched in the face. He's got to put the gloves on and defend himself now. That's why.
Okay, cool.
They keep making videos. I don't know. No. Be quiet, bro. Be quiet for 2 seconds. Because you Abba and Preach fans all can come in here trying to defend these niggas. And I don't get it.
Bro, nigga,
they made videos.
I'm not a fan.
No. Yeah, you are, bro. Yeah, you are. Because clearly.
No, I'm not. I'm literally asking you a question.
Then you should know better that they've been making videos, 30-plus videos talking shit. They just made a video before we got demonetized a few months back talking shit. So, bro, at this point, nah, man, the chickens have come to roost. It's like you guys, they can only do it for so long until I'm like, all right, man, now it's time to retaliate. And then on top of that, they got our channel hit with a strike because we made that video expose them. So nah, man, now it's done. Now it's done. Like I was got to put on the gloves and fight. That's it.
Okay, I got you. I hear you on that. That was just my thing. I just saw it and I'm like, okay. It's resurfaced again.
Because you guys look at me like I'm crazy when I say this. It's like, bro, they've made 30-plus videos now at this point.
I know. You're right.
So why the fuck are you asking me?
My thing is, I thought you guys weren't about it at first, and then fast forward You let them talk shit, and now you're about it again. So I'm like, what? Why did we back off the first time if you guys backed off the first time?
Because we didn't give it. We were focused on other stuff. We were trying to hit 1 million subscribers. We were trying to grow the channel. Remember, bro, we only had like 400K. And then all that happened.
I remember.
We're losing subscribers, whatever. So like, we have other priorities that we got to worry about. Now we hit our goals. We're at 1 million. We've done what we're supposed to do. And these dudes are still talking, making videos. So I'm like, all right, man. At some point, it's like there's got to be consequence to this shit because people think it's all sweet. It's like, nah, man.
It's not. It's not. I agree with you. It's not. You know, at the end of the day, this wasn't really so much of an entertainment thing. It was just like, hey, you guys were about it. They said they were about it, and then nothing happened. Then fast forward. It's just you guys saying, oh, they didn't want to do it, and then the other party saying they didn't want to do it. So I'm like, I'm so fucked, you know. So that's why I was just thrown off guard. I'm not an Abba and Preach fan. I'm not on that life, you know, because again, I don't really like Abba because he just instigates. I can tell it's very obvious. Anyone with a brain can tell. He's like, yeah, he's just in it for the clicks and views. He really doesn't give a fuck about that life, you know. So I know what you mean. I know where you're coming from. You know, but that was just the main thing.
Yeah, bro, we ignored them for 2 years, man. We ignored them for 2 years, bro, and they just kept making videos. So I was like, all right, man, that's it.
Why do you care, bro? Like, why do you care so much about...
What was that, Fresh?
Why do you care?
Not because I keep seeing Myron talk about, oh, yeah, I'm gonna, like, every new video you guys make, not every new video, but I always look at the timestamps and I'll see, yeah, people like Abba got to get punched, like, every 1 or 3 videos, and I'm like, damn, it's still been going on.
We wouldn't even have mentioned them if you didn't ask.
You know?
A lot of times people asking us.
Okay, yeah. Again, like I said, that's just something I've just been curious about and wanted to know. Also, I know I've taken enough of your time. I just have one specific question, if you guys will allow it.
Nah, man, we got a lot of people on the line, bro. We got a lot of people on the line. We got a lot of people on the line, man.
All right.
All right. Who's up next?
Next, we have...
The verbal jousting, reminiscent of the timeless duel between Cyrano and de Bergerac, casts the protagonists in a melodrama where accusations of deception and manipulation echo like the murmurs of Shakespearean ghosts haunting Elsinore. The accusation that Preach utilized the potential fight as a puppeteer string to manipulate the narrative becomes a Machiavellian tableau, a modern-day prince engaging in strategic theatrics. The rhetoric, akin to Iago's cunning manipulation of Othello, suggests a subtle orchestration of events to weave a fabricated narrative for the audience. Roasting Abba, with the rhetorical flourish of a Renaissance courtier, flings verbal barbs at Preach, casting aspersions on his character and labeling him a coward. The accusation reverberates like the Athenian condemnation of Alcibiades, the prodigious general deemed a coward for his alleged betrayal, a historical parallel underscoring the gravity of the charge. The criticism leveled at Preach, concerning alleged attacks through demonetization and YouTube strikes, evokes the specter of ancient oracles and auguries. The YouTube algorithm, akin to a capricious deity, meting out punitive measures based on content, becomes a contemporary Delphic oracle foretelling the repercussions of digital skirmishes. The host's assertion that their initial decision to avoid the fight was rooted in a pursuit of channel growth parallels the historical quests for empire expansion. The pursuit of 1 million subscribers, akin to the Roman quest for territorial dominion, becomes a reflection of the ceaseless ambition that often eclipses peripheral conflicts until they demand resolution. The accusation of Preach's lack of accountability becomes a metaphorical journey through the labyrinth of Athenian agora, where citizens demanded accountability from their leaders. The rhetorical market square, much like the digital agora, becomes a space where accountability is currency, and the hosts, like orators in ancient Athens, wield their words to expose perceived misdeeds. The host's revelation that their attention to Preach's actions only intensified after achieving their subscriber goal echoes the cautionary tales of ancient fables. The pursuit of success, akin to the siren's call, can divert attention from lurking threats until they emerge from the shadows, demanding acknowledgement in the agora of public opinion. Much like Theseus grappling with the Minotaur, the combatants, be they fresh and fit or Abba and Preach, navigate a maze of motivations, where the threads of genuine disagreements intertwine with the shadows of profound insecurities. The digital stage becomes a contemporary colosseum, a psychological battleground where the combatants wage war not only in the public eye but also within the recesses of their own minds. The motivations behind these verbal jousts, like the Sphinx's riddles, invite scrutiny into the enigma of human nature. Are these clashes born from sincere differences of opinion, akin to the philosophical disputes between ancient schools of thought? Or do they mirror the Freudian theatrics, where the unconscious whispers drive conscious actions, a psychoanalytic masquerade concealed within the rhetoric of disagreement? In the theater of online drama, where each verbal thrust is a choreographed move on the chessboard of digital perception, the exploration of motivations requires a plunge into the depths of Jungian archetypes. Are the combatants playing roles scripted by societal expectations, their actions mere shadows cast upon the walls of a collective unconscious, much like Plato's allegorical cave? The Freudian ID, ego, and superego become spectral actors in this psychodrama, where the ID's primal urges to dominate, the ego's negotiation of social dynamics, and the superego's moral imperatives dance in a delicate trinity. Do the feuds unravel as manifestations of the unresolved Oedipal complex, an electronic Orestia, where ancestral conflicts echo through the corridors of the digital agora? The narrative layers with the whispers of Carl Rogers, urging a phenomenological exploration into the subjective experiences of the protagonists. Beneath the bravado of verbal dueling, do they harbor existential anxieties? Their clashes a desperate endeavor to assert a semblance of control over a chaotic digital landscape? The psychological scaffolding of these feuds is, in essence, a psychological odyssey through the collective unconscious, where archaic symbols morph into digital memes, and the shadows of ancestral traumas cast long silhouettes. Much like the Greek chorus punctuating the tragedies of yore, the psychological forces at play become a chorus of whispers shaping the tragic narrative. In the words of Nietzsche, he who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. As these digital combatants grapple with each other, are they not, in essence, confronting their own shadows, their own monstrous reflections in the digital mirror, a Nietzschean abyss reflecting the fears lurking within their own psyches? The confusion voiced by a neutral fan becomes a reflective pool mirroring the labyrinthine complexity of the feud. The hosts, with a Platonic candor, acknowledge the perplexity that arises when embroiled in the contentious arena of online drama, where allegiances shift like shadows on the walls of a philosophical cave. In the grand tapestry of this digital odyssey, Fresh and Fit and Abba and Preach become modern-day Odysseus, navigating the treacherous seas of online discourse. The rhetorical tempest, swirling with echoes of ancient thinkers and historical parallels, beckons the audience to contemplate the nuances of accountability, manipulation, and the relentless pursuit of digital conquests in the agora of the internet.